Oh, hello guys. So I want to continue exploring some of the better Linux distros for new users, and for today I thought I'm gonna talk about for one of my old favorites, and of course this is Ubuntu MATE. This is amazing distribution, and it used to be the hot stuff if I may say that. Now you can find it. This is the web page. I'm gonna leave this in the description down below if you wanna download it and try it out for yourself. So if you go to the ubuntu-mate.org, you have all the basic information you need to know about this distribution. Of course, in the nutshell, Ubuntu Mate is a stable and easy to use operating system with configurable desktop environment. We will see. I'll show you this. You have a few screenshots. If you are curious, you can run it on Raspberry Pi even if you want to. You can take a look for yourself. You can just read more information from the team. And we need to go to the download page so we can download and install this on our computer. So basically, if you have relatively at least modern computer, just click here and choose the version you like. Personally, for new users, I would strongly recommend the LTS version. It says right here. The current version is 22.04.3. This 23.04 or even the pre-release 23.10, it's not recommended, but for new users, again, I would strongly recommend the LTS versions because it's more stable, it's more tested, it's more usable. Let's click here and you have the choice of BitTorrent, Magnet Link, or even direct download. Just click the one you like. I'm gonna click this one for now. Wait a few seconds for the download to start. Okay, if the download does not start, just click the link down here. And now, as you can see, we have downloading already the distribution Ubuntu Mate. It's gonna take a few minutes, so let me get back when this is done. Okay, and the ISO it's finally downloaded. Let's see. Now, if you are most likely you are of course Windows user, one of the ways I do recommend is using Rufus for writing down the image, and the other one that is really good and I'm using even on Windows ARIS or Linux, that's the balena etcher. Just select, it's gonna says Windows here, or it's gonna go down the page over here and you're gonna select the operating system you are using. Most likely this one is for you, but I'm on Linux, so I'm gonna download this. And again, it's gonna take a few seconds to finish the downloading. Let's wait for it. Okay, it is done. Okay, once the downloading is finished, go to the folder where you have downloaded, of course. Go to the file, just right click, go to the properties, permission and click is executable. Just click OK. Now you can double click, of course execute, wait for a few seconds to load. And this of course is for Linux users. If you are already on Linux, on the Windows you should not have to do that. You should just install it with double clicking and following the pretty easy installation with next and accepting everything. It's a pretty small program, so it shouldn't take too long. But anyway, so this is what you are met with. Now just click to the flash from file because we already have downloaded. Find where you downloaded the image or the ISO, select it. Select the USB device you are using and just click flash. Put down your password and wait for the flashing to finish. Again, if you are on Windows, you might have better success with Rufus. It's pretty simple tool to use. Just click here for download, choose the one you want to use. Usually this one is the latest one and the greatest one. Okay, now we will come back when the flashing is done. Okay, and the flash is finally done. It took about a few minutes. Now the only thing you have to do is just reboot and start booting with the new ISO. Now the next thing is I'm gonna walk you through the installation. But before we do that, I again want to mention I have a video about it, but before you start installing it on your real hardware, I believe the better thing to do is just install it on a virtual machine, test it out, play with it for a little bit, and if you really like it, then you can install it. I think this is the better, especially for long time Windows users. But anyway, this is just announced. Let's get to the installation. Okay, after you boot into the ISO, this is the screen you are met with. Let's go and select the try or install Ubuntu MATE. Just click enter. By the way, I am using virtual machine for this. And once again, I want to recommend you to do the same thing. Just try the system out before you install it on real hardware. And let's get back to the installation. Alright, so here you can just, if you are using the ISO on the real hardware, you can just select the try Ubuntu MATE and go to the live environment without installing it. Of course, you can decide and install it later, but we are just straight install Ubuntu MATE, selecting that, of course. Now select your language. English US is okay for me. You can test out your keyboard. Click continue. Normal installation, minimal installation. Well, for new users, I do recommend installing the normal installation. If you are more experienced and you want less things to be installed, like, well, utilities and office software, if you want to select them yourself, then you can select the minimal installation. Now the downloading updates while installing Ubuntu MATE is checked by default, and I do recommend, if you are using any kind of proprietary hardware like a Wi-Fi, or you have NVIDIA driver or something like that, I do recommend checking this. Now click continue. This is a warning that if you have not backed up all your data, this will erase everything on the drive you are selecting. Just click install, click continue. Now select the zone you are right now. Where is Chicago? Well, Toronto, it's okay too. Click continue. Now you have the page where putting down your name. I have selected, this is your computer's name. I'm gonna put mate-virtualbox. Now the username can't be different from your name or could be the same. This is personal choice. Now choose a password, and it's very important to remember this password. And it's really recommended to be long and strong password. I am using again virtual machine, so this is not that big of a deal for me, but for you, if you are installing it on the real hardware, once again, just pick a password that it's hard to break, and it's really important to remember that password. Now logged in automatically, I do not recommend that for security reasons. Just leave the require my password to log in and click continue. Alright, the installation has started. This usually takes like 10, maybe 15 minutes depending on your hardware. I'm gonna come back when this installation is finished. Alright, and the installation is finished. Now all you have to do is just restart. Press enter. We are rebooting into our new system, Ubuntu MATE. Okay, just put down your password, press enter. Alright, we are in. Let me just little quick fix the resolution. We want 1920 by 1080. It's right here. Okay, this is looking already much better. Now welcome to your new Ubuntu MATE installation. Now the first thing I always recommend you do, it's already prompted here, update your system. You don't even have to use the terminal anymore, you have all the GUI interfaces. So just click install now and wait for the installation and updates to finish installing. It shouldn't be that many updates, but who knows. Alright, and the updates finished installing, and as usual I do recommend always restart. So click restart now and wait for the restart to finish. Alright, so we are back after the updates and the restart. Now we are met with this lovely welcome screen. Let me tell you guys, Ubuntu Mate back in the day, like a few years ago, that was the gold standard for all Linux distributions. And I guess it's not that popular. People are not talking too much about Ubuntu Mate nowadays because, well, maybe we just got spoiled with all the innovations they start doing back in the day, and now they are just focusing on stability. But anyway, so this welcome screen, it was one, if not the best welcome screens. Basically, these guys are the first that start doing the welcome screen and many other things. So they are famous with it. After them, after they implemented this welcome screen, every other distribution starts doing this. So let's get back to the distribution. Of course, this was a little rant of me, don't mind me. So it starts with, would you like to send this information? If you don't send telemetry or do not send, this is a virtual machine, so I'm not gonna do that. And this is the Ubuntu Mate welcome screen. Now you can just select every single section, read about everything you care about here. What is Mate? What is the Mate desktop? How it was created? What are the features? You can read all this if you want to. Now go to the getting started. This is important. Click to the updates and extras. We already have updated, but this is not hurting us to do once more. Okay, there's no updates because we just did. Additional codecs, they are installed out of the box. Blu-ray and DVD playback support, they are installed too. If you want additional screensaver, you can just install them here. If you want additional themes, you can install them here. We can just do that. Put down the password you are using. This shouldn't take more than a few seconds. Alright, if you want additional community wallpapers, I know they have really amazing wallpapers, so I do want to install them. And another thing, I know many people got annoyed because of the coloring of this distribution. This is not a problem. You can really quickly and easy select a new theme or a new color scheme or whatever. So I'm gonna show you a little quick how to do that. Let's actually do that. Just if you want to install a new wallpaper as on Windows, just right click and check the change the desktop. Wait a little bit to load. And you have so many good wallpapers here. You can select the one you like. Let's see. So many. Oh yes, I love it. This one looks really colorful and nice. You can select the one you like. Oh, this one, it's nice. I'm gonna stay with this one. And while you are here, you can select the theme section. And if you like the dark theme, you can select dark. Anyway, the customize, just go there, select of all the choices you have here. For example, you can select Yaro. If you want, you can stay with Yaro Dark Bark, whatever the name is. Anyway, this is not the most important thing, but you can play with this as much as you like. If you want, you can install even more icon themes and stuff, but this is not the point of this video. So let's continue with the welcome screen. After all this is done, you are almost ready to start using fully your Ubuntu Mate. But I want to show you a couple more things before we end up. And this is the software, or the software boutique are they calling. This is another thing that Ubuntu Mate was really famous for. Back in the day, they really innovate what are things, but I don't want to get distracted. So anyway, if you don't know what you're looking for, the name of the program, of course, you can go through every single category here. They have a really nice description, so even if you don't know what caffeine, for example, is, if you read the description, you can be sure is that what you want or that's not what you want. So they have, this is a special selection of the most used software. They have gathered this information through the years and put it here for everyone to easy select it. You have the gaming section, of course. You can select, if you are gamer, whatever game you want. This is mostly a native gaming. I'm not gonna talk much about that because this video getting pretty long. But let's say if you want to install an advanced picture editor, this is GIMP. This is the same GIMP version that is Windows using, if you are using. It says it's alternative to Adobe Photoshop. Just click install. And I do recommend you go through every single category again. Select all the software you like. For example, let's click, I like Brave. Let's click and install Brave. Now, when you get to the end, right here, you put every single software that you have selected in a queue. Just select it. You see the list of all the software you are going to install. If you want, well, let's say I don't want keep, you can just cancel it and leave the one you want to install. It's pretty easy, isn't it? So just click apply changes and wait for the installation of the selected software. It's finished. This is one of the many reasons why I like this distribution so much and why I do recommend it for new users, especially coming from Windows and Mac OS. This is why I'm making this video about it. This installation should not take too long. And while we are waiting for the installation to finish, we can take a look around. I know the the look of this desktop, it's really different than you are used to. There is a bar on the top with a menu. This menu, it's really nice, it's really quick with all the categories you need. Just select the category you want. And we have the Brave web browser that we just installed. Click it. And you can start using the Brave. Also, if you know what you're looking for, there is a search button. For example, you can start Brave from here. It's pretty easy. And alright, and you have some basic tray and software information here. You have the sound settings, you have the calendar, you have the power button, and the Ethernet and connections information. And you have another bar on the bottom with all the different desktops. There's 4 of them. You have a little button to show and hide the desktop. For example, if you have open application and click it, and it automatically clears the desktop for you. Now I'm showing you all this because it's another really cool feature of Ubuntu MATE. For example, it's browser selection. You have all the major and big browsers known and used by people, so you can select which one you want to install. For example, for some reason, if you like to install the Chrome, you can just install it from here, and as you can see, you can select or remove the one you don't use and click it for set for default. And the last thing I want to show you, which is really cool, this is the desktop layout. Now they have so many layouts. This is another thing that Ubuntu MATE started back in the day. If for some reason you don't like the look of this desktop, this is no problem at all. Just select another one. For example, let's check this one. If you are coming from macOS, this might be a better or familiar look for you, with another bar on top and a little bar on the bottom with all your favorite applications here. Or you can select something else, just try them out and see what you like. If you get tired from certain look, you can always select another one and never get lost. So this is a more Windows UI with another just one bar on the bottom. But anyway, I'm gonna start exploring this by myself, so I'm gonna leave you to do the same thing. If you close the welcome screen and you want to reach these settings once again, there is an app called Tweak and Mate Tweak. Just click there, go to the panels, and from the drop down menu select the, let's say, the Pantheon that we have just used. It's a warning that says changing the layout. That's okay. And you have some other options if you want to explore them, but I'm not gonna do that, so I will end up the video here because it's getting too long and I don't want to take too much time of you guys. But that's it, that's all I have to say about this. If you want to try the Ubuntu MATE, this is an amazing distribution and I really do recommend it for new users. They have so much tools installed out of the box. You will feel so much comfortable and at home in this distribution. And once you start using it, you will learn more about Linux and you can do more stuff about it. So I'm gonna leave you now, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you found this video informational and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.